But if the one thing standing between you and your next breakthrough isn't more strategy, more networking, or more effort, but less noise, less distraction, less mental clutter. In a world addicted to speed, stimulation, and constant input, the idea of slowing down feels radical, maybe even risky. But think about this. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself, undisturbed, without checking your phone, scrolling through updates, or reacting to the next ping? Most people go years without a moment of real stillness. Yet it's in those quiet spaces, those rare moments of intentional silence, that the most powerful clarity begins to emerge. Being conditioned to believe that progress only happens when we're moving, grinding, pushing forward. But what if that belief is flawed? What if the real edge in 2025 belongs to those who know how to pause, reflect, and reset, not just occasionally, but daily? Silence isn't just an absence of noise. It's a presence of awareness, of intention, of focus. When you step away from the world's distractions, you begin to hear your own thoughts more clearly. And often what you hear is far more valuable than anything you could have consumed externally. Right now you might be feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or stretched too thin. And that's not because you're incapable, it's because you're overloaded. Silence is not about retreating from life. It's about returning to yourself so you can lead your life with more clarity and power. In 2025, those who master the art of inner stillness will move faster, think clearer, and lead better, not by chasing more, but by accessing what's already within. The question is, are you brave enough to stop and listen? In the fast-paced world we live in, success is often equated with constant movement. We're told to hustle harder, chase bigger goals, attend more meetings, post more content, and squeeze more into each day. The noise of modern life has become so normalized that we hardly notice it anymore. Notifications, deadlines, opinions, and expectations fill every quiet moment. But despite all this activity, many people feel more disconnected than ever, disconnected from themselves, from their purpose, and from a clear sense of direction. We confuse busyness with progress, thinking that if we just keep moving, we'll eventually arrive at fulfillment. Yet beneath the surface, many are running on empty, unclear about why they're doing what they're doing or who they're becoming in the process. Success in 2025 is no longer just about doing more. It's about doing what actually matters. And to know what truly matters, we have to create space to listen, not to the world, but to ourselves. Silence and self-focus aren't luxuries. They're necessities for anyone who wants to lead a meaningful, sustainable life in this new era. In a culture that praises multitasking and constant availability, choosing to slow down, unplug, and turn inward may feel counterintuitive, but it's exactly in those moments of stillness that we access the clarity, creativity, and emotional strength that high-level success requires. This isn't about checking out of life. It's about checking back into it with presence. It's about waking up each day, not just reacting to what's urgent, but responding to what's important. The ability to pause, to reflect, and to direct your energy consciously is what separates people who thrive from those who burn out. In silence, we learn to trust ourselves again. We make decisions from intention instead of impulse. We stop being swept up in the currents of distraction and start navigating our lives with focus and depth. As we move deeper into 2025, the world will continue to accelerate. There will always be more information, more pressure, and more noise. But the most successful people will be the ones who can rise above it, not by running faster, but by grounding deeper. They will know when to disconnect, when to reset, and when to realign with their highest values, because true success isn't found in the noise. It's discovered in the stillness. This is your invitation to explore how embracing silence and self-focus can elevate not only your performance, but your entire experience of life. The greatest challenge we face today isn't a lack of resources, intelligence, or ambition. It's a lack of clarity. We live in a world that never stops talking. From the moment we wake up to the second we fall asleep, we're bombarded with noise. Messages, emails, opinions, headlines, social media feeds, each one demanding our attention, pulling us in countless directions. And in the middle of it all, we lose something vital, the connection to ourselves. Most people don't realize it's happening. They're too busy responding to what's urgent to question whether it's important, too caught up in motion to notice they've drifted away from meaning. And the truth is, we're overstimulated and under-reflected. We know how to scroll endlessly, but we rarely sit with our thoughts. We consume more information in a day than previous generations did in a week, yet we struggle to hear our own inner voice. We've mistaken being busy for being purposeful, and as a result, we often find ourselves running in circles, exhausted, distracted, and uncertain about where we're headed or why. This constant input creates a kind of mental fog. When we're always reacting, there's no room to think, to plan, or to feel deeply. It becomes nearly impossible to access true creativity, insight, or direction. Many people sense that something is off. They feel disconnected from their goals, unsure of their next move, or emotionally flat despite external achievements. They keep pushing, hoping that the next task, the next win, or the next opportunity will bring clarity. But clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from stepping back and listening to the quiet thoughts beneath the noise, the subtle signals within, the parts of us that get drowned out in the chaos of modern life. The real problem isn't lack of effort, it's lack of space. Space to think, to breathe, to evaluate, space to ask, is this still aligned with who I want to be? Without that space, success becomes mechanical, life becomes reactive, and burnout becomes inevitable. If we want to lead ourselves and others powerfully in 2025 and beyond, we must learn to break the cycle. We must recognize that silence is not wasted time. It is the fertile ground where clarity grows. It is where our deepest answers live, waiting to be heard. The challenge isn't whether we can create that space. The challenge is whether we're willing to slow down long enough to find it. You know, when we talk about embracing silence and self-focus, it's important to understand what these concepts truly mean in practice and why they are so powerful. Silence isn't simply the absence of sound, it's the presence of intentional stillness. It's creating a space where your mind isn't racing from one distraction to the next, where external noise fades away and you can turn your attention inward. Self-focus isn't about selfishness or isolation. It's about reconnecting with your core values, desires, and purpose. It's about tuning into your internal compass so you can navigate life with greater clarity and confidence. In today's hyper-connected world, silence and self-focus might seem like luxuries, but they are actually essential skills that anyone can develop. When you intentionally step into silence, you give your brain a chance to reset. This mental reset is crucial because constant stimulation overloads your cognitive resources, leaving you drained and unfocused. Research shows that even short periods of quiet can reduce stress, improve concentration, and boost creativity. By prioritizing silence, you're training your mind to shift from reactive mode to reflective mode. Instead of reacting to every external demand, you create space to consider your responses thoughtfully. Self-focus allows you to clarify your priorities and align your daily actions with your long-term goals. It helps you distinguish between what's urgent and what's truly important. When you develop this skill, decisions become less about external pressures and more about internal guidance. This alignment strengthens your emotional resilience, helping you stay calm and grounded even in the face of challenges. Practically speaking, embracing silence and self-focus can take many forms. Daily meditation, journaling, mindful breathing, or simply unplugging from technology for a few minutes each day. The key is consistency. It's in the regular practice that you build the capacity to center yourself quickly, no matter what's happening around you. This inner work also unlocks creativity. When your mind isn't cluttered, fresh ideas flow more easily. You become more intuitive and better at spotting opportunities that others might miss. This heightened awareness leads to smarter decisions and more impactful actions. Ultimately, embracing silence and self-focus is about reclaiming control over your mind and your life. It's about recognizing that your most valuable resource isn't time, it's your attention. By choosing where to direct that attention, especially inward, you create the foundation for sustained success and fulfillment in 2025 and beyond. Imagine a moment when everything suddenly shifts, not because circumstances change, but because your perspective did. You've been rushing nonstop, juggling countless demands, reacting to every ping and notification, feeling the pressure mounting. Then one day you decide to stop, not just a quick pause, but a deliberate choice to step into silence and focus solely on yourself. You sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let go of the endless noise around you. At first, the stillness feels uncomfortable, almost foreign. Your mind tries to pull you back into the chaos with a flood of thoughts and worries, but you stay present, patient, and open. As minutes pass, something remarkable happens. The clutter in your mind begins to settle, like sediment falling to the bottom of a clear glass. Your thoughts become less frantic, more centered. In that silence, you start to hear your own voice. Not the voice of obligation or distraction, but your true inner guidance. You sense clarity emerging, a subtle but powerful knowing of what really matters to you. This isn't a flashy revelation or a sudden burst of energy. It's quieter than that, yet far more profound. It's the realization that your direction, your motivation, your strength have been inside you all along. You just needed the space to listen. This moment is a turning point. It's the point where success stops being about grinding harder and starts being about aligning deeper. You begin to see your goals with fresh eyes, feeling renewed passion and purpose. The distractions that once seemed urgent lose their hold. Decisions become easier because they come from a place of authenticity instead of pressure. You feel steadier, more confident, and surprisingly more energized, not despite the silence, but because of it. This key moment is a breakthrough, a powerful inner reset that propels you forward with greater focus and intention. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest progress isn't about adding more to your plate, but about subtracting the noise that clouds your mind. It's where you step off the hamster wheel of busyness and start moving with clear direction and calm power. When you embrace silence and self-focus in this way, you unlock a new level of success, one that is sustainable, meaningful, and deeply connected to who you are. This moment is not just a pause, it's a powerful catalyst for transformation that can shape your entire year, your career, and your life ahead. As we reflect on the journey through silence and self-focus, it becomes clear that these are not just abstract concepts, but vital practices that can transform how we live and succeed. In a world that constantly pulls us outward, demanding our attention and energy, the ability to turn inward is a rare and powerful skill. It allows us to reconnect with our true selves, clarify our priorities, and find a sense of calm amid chaos. This inner connection becomes the foundation for meaningful progress and lasting fulfillment. The relentless pace of modern life can make it easy to confuse activity with achievement. We often measure success by how busy we are, how many tasks we complete, or how much noise we make. But true success is not about the quantity of what we do, it's about the quality. When we embrace silence, we create the conditions for deeper understanding and wiser decisions. When we cultivate self-focus, we align our actions with our values and long-term vision. Together, these practices help us move forward with purpose rather than reaction. By choosing to incorporate moments of stillness and reflection into our daily lives, we build resilience against stress and burnout. We sharpen our ability to concentrate and enhance our creativity. More importantly, we open the door to insights that can change the trajectory of our careers and personal lives. This shift isn't something that happens overnight. It requires intention and patience. But the payoff is immense: a clearer mind, a stronger sense of direction, and a confidence to pursue what truly matters. In embracing silence and self-focus, we also reclaim control over our attention, the most valuable resource we have. Rather than being swept along by external demands and distractions, we learn to guide ourselves. This internal leadership allows us to prioritize effectively, respond thoughtfully, and maintain balance. It's the difference between drifting through life and steering with purpose. Looking ahead, the challenges and opportunities of 2025 will test our ability to manage complexity and uncertainty. Those who master the art of turning inward will find themselves better equipped to adapt, innovate, and thrive. Silence and self-focus are not just practices for personal growth, they are strategic tools for success in an increasingly noisy world. Ultimately, the journey toward embracing silence and self-focus is a journey toward greater clarity, strength, and fulfillment. It invites us to slow down, listen deeply, and act intentionally. By doing so, we elevate not only our achievements, but our entire experience of life. This is the path to lasting success, one that honors both our ambitions and our humanity. Now that you understand the profound impact that silence and self-focus can have on your life and success, it's time to take action. Knowledge alone doesn't create change. It's the consistent application of what you've learned that makes the difference. So here's your invitation to start shifting your daily habits, starting today. Begin by carving out just a few minutes each morning or evening to sit in silence. No phone, no distractions, no agenda. Simply you and your breath. It might feel strange or even uncomfortable at first, but that's exactly why it's important. In those moments of quiet, you give your mind the chance to slow down, your emotions the space to settle, and your intuition the opportunity to speak. Try setting a timer for 5 or 10 minutes and gradually increase as you feel more comfortable. This simple practice will build your mental clarity and emotional resilience over time. Next, make self-focus a regular habit. This means checking in with yourself throughout the day, asking questions like, what am I feeling right now? What do I truly need? Am I aligned with my goals? These moments of self-awareness keep you grounded and prevent you from drifting into autopilot. Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Writing down your thoughts, reflections, helps you process emotions and uncover patterns that might be holding you back. Another vital step is to create intentional breaks from the noise of technology and external distractions. Schedule times to unplug, turn off notifications, step away from screens, and give yourself permission to simply be. This digital detox frees up mental space and reduces stress, enabling you to recharge and refocus. Remember, embracing silence and self-focus isn't a one-time event. It's a commitment to a lifestyle that prioritizes inner clarity and intentional living. The more consistently you practice, the more natural it becomes to respond to life's challenges with calm and purpose rather than overwhelm and reaction. Challenge yourself to experiment with these practices over the next week. Notice how even small moments of stillness shift your energy, focus, and decision-making. Reflect on what changes you experience, not just in your productivity, but in your overall sense of well-being. Your success in 2025 depends not just on how much you do, but on how deeply you understand and direct yourself. Take this step towards silence and self-focus now and watch how it transforms not only your achievements, but your entire life. The power to elevate your success is already within you. Start listening to it today.